or not to be? That is the question.
To be or not to be? That is the question. And it's a question that has remained surprisingly significant in this day and age. My class just finished reading Hamlet by William Shakespeare, and I know a lot of people found it confusing, didn't like it, but I not that it was my favorite, but I think I understand why it's still taught in schools, why it's still so popular, why it's still so read, and that is because the timeless themes that are in Hamlet, revenge, jealousy, paranoia, mental illness, love, things like that are the basis for so much modern media and have, I think, always been the basis for, I feel like, every story, every movie, TV show has at least one of those themes. And I think it's because of those themes that Hamlet remains relevant. Yes, it takes place in Denmark. Yes, it takes place long, long, long time ago, and it might be hard to relate to the characters on a surface level, but on a few but upon examination of the characters on a deeper level, I think we can all find ourselves a little bit in how Hamlet is grieving his father and he's seeking revenge. His how he's so upset that his mother ended up marrying his uncle. I think we all, if anybody's ever lost someone, we all know that grief can do just very strange, very intense things to us and our emotions. And while not everyone's gonna react the same way, not everyone's gonna react the same way as Hamlet and want to kill your uncle that married your mom. It's grief is just such a prominent thing, and I think that examining Hamlet and how he handles his grief is a way of I think it's just a way. It's another way of looking at it and examining how it affects people in different ways. And because of Hamlet's grief, it spirals out of control into fits of paranoia, jealousy, madness. It sparks his go for revenge. Now, and while that doesn't happen to anyone or most people, I think that individually, everybody has been jealous, everybody's been paranoid, everybody's done things that aren't rational because of emotion. And I think if you really strip down the characters to their actions and their emotions, then it's just, you could describe any sort of main character, any complex character that's written in any show, any book, any movie. And so I really do think that's part of why Hamlet has remained so popular and so beloved. Um, I do understand to some degree how the language can be confusing because Shakespeare is freaking confusing. And as I already mentioned, that makes it harder to maybe connect, to understand what's going on. But I feel as if that's why there have been so many modern interpretations, new interpretations of Hamlet and things based off Hamlet. Take Lion King for example. It's not a tragedy like Hamlet, but it takes so many elements from it and puts it into a family friendly movie. And again, if you look closely, there are so many similarities within themes and character motivations. And so Hamlet and Shakespeare hasn't just faded away. It's remained relevant in pop culture and in other writings and forms of media. And we're human, like human emotions, potent human emotions. I know I've probably said grief a million times, but grief and jealousy, and it just drives people to do things that maybe are irrational or that they shouldn't do, such as Hamlet's developing paranoia, such as Claudius's, hunger for power that he killed his brother, such as Ophelia. Ophelia went mad because of her conflict with Hamlet, and I think that's just the fact that those emotions and those actions are so potent and so human. That is why Hamlet remains relevant. My name is Emily Schuler, and this has been fun.